Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Y'all know this is Life with Nessa, and of course it's Nessa. I was on LinkedIn and I saw some job openings, and I thought to myself, hey, I know that people are still looking for work from home jobs. I know that that is still something that's big because the world is shifting, the world is changing, and a lot of us, especially as single parents like myself, it's good to be able to provide for your family and to still be able to spend time with them, reduce the commute time, and to just be earning more money overall where it's possible. So I found some remote jobs that I wanted to share, and of course I'm going to be putting the links down in the description box, so you can go ahead and click on the links and apply if it is that you think it would be suited to you, or if it's something that you think you would be able to do. All right, this isn't going to be a long video, so please just follow through. And of course, before we go any further, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to ensure that whenever I post a new video, you are able to see it. All right, let's go. So the first one I have is from a company called Simera, and this is a remote company and it's located actually in Jamaica. They're looking for a cold caller. Now, what is cold calling? Now, cold calling is basically you being the first point of contact between the business and the customer, right? So this customer may not have had any interaction with the business before. More than likely, they've never had any interaction with the business before, and you are calling to solicit their business. So do they want to work with your business? Do they want the product or service that you're offering? You are the first point of contact for that. I have done a video on my first time doing cold calling. That's something you can look for. It's something you can watch just to get an idea of the feel of. I went through the entire experience, what it was like for me, and so you can look at that. And it usually involves using a script, because businesses will have key points that they want you to hit during the conversation and to just bring home to get the customer interested and get the customer maybe on a second call or interested to just learn more about the business and to actually utilize the services. Now, for this, one thing to note is that there is usually a high volume of calls that you have to make during the day. A lot of businesses use what is called a dialer, and so it just randomly, all the numbers are loaded in, and then the system will just make the calls for you, so you don't have to manual dial or just punch in the numbers as you would. And so there is that to consider. Also, other things to note is that for this one, it was said that a bachelor's degree is preferred. Notice the word preferred. It's not necessary, but they would prefer somebody with. So it depends on the experience that you have when you're going to apply for this job. They are looking for people with experience in outbound calling, people who are familiar with a CRM software. Now, what is a CRM? Now, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, or yes. And it's basically just a system that manages the interactions between you, the caller, and the customer. It will have like the list of contacts, text messages. You can do calling from there as well, email sometimes. So it basically encapsulates all of the communication you would make with the customer, and most businesses these days are using a CRM. I have used a CRM. I know many people know, like Zendesk. I've used Go High Level, and there are others. You can always do a quick YouTube search, see what it's about. They're not difficult to use, and of course, if you're looking to go into the remote space, this is something that I encourage you to just look upon, see if you can find any free courses, maybe on Coursera or anywhere else that is offering training on it, and just get up to speed. So when you're asked if you have this type of experience, you can always just say yes. All right, so that's for the cold calling job, and of course this again is a remote job. There was no mention of how much the pay would be, so that's something you would have to find out. The other one, this is the same company, Simera. They were looking for a sales closer, right? And your job would be to finalize sales transactions. Now, when you're doing cold, so the cold caller would be the first point of contact, and the closer would be the one who actually gets the customer to make a purchase, to finalize the deal. Good. Now, for this, the things to know that they were looking for, or they would prefer, there is no degree required for this job, but you must have a proven track record in sales with emphasis on closing deals. So they prefer people who have closing experience. And if you've done any type of sales, insurance, or any other sales job, most of these jobs is for you to word the experience that you already have and put it in a way that makes it seem like you are suitable for the job, or just present your skills in a way that matches what it is that they're looking for. That's what it is for most of these jobs. All right, again, this is supposed to be a quick video. I don't want to talk too fast, but the next one, and this is the same company, is a sales rep. So this is a sales representative. Now for this, of course, most of us know sales rep. You have to have a knowledge of the product and then you have to be able to sell it. So they're looking for the 3 points of contact. So they're looking for the cold caller who's going to make the first contact with the customer, probably get on, say, hey, would you like a second call? The sales rep would make the second call, and then they would speak to the closer at the end and finalize the deal, set up the transaction. Things to note, they are looking for a minimum of 2 years sales experience for the sales rep position, and these are all local jobs. These are Jamaican based, but they are remote from what I saw. The next one is a bookkeeper, and this company is called Persona. Now, if you have any form of accounting experience, you have accountants and then you have bookkeepers. Accountants are the ones that usually like draft the financial statements and do the higher end accounting stuff. Bookkeepers just post transactions. So you're either in payables or receivables, or sometimes you have to manage everything, but you're basically just posting the transactions for the most part. But for the things to note in this, you need to be proficient in QuickBooks and in retail and e-commerce, and you need to be available to work in US time zones. And the 3 time zones they listed here were Central, Pacific, and the Eastern. You do have Mountain time zone as well, but they didn't ask for that. So Central time zone, which is usually what Jamaica operates on. There's Pacific, which I believe is either ahead or behind us. I know Eastern can be ahead most time by an hour. So you have to be available for those working hours, depending on the customer that you're paired with, and you need to be proficient in QuickBooks. Now, if you don't know how to use QuickBooks, but you do have accounting experience, you can go to the QuickBooks software website and you can learn how to use the software. I did that, and the training is free. You just sign up, you go through the signing up process, and they train you on how to use the software, and then they certify you so you can present this to future employers to say, hey, I've been certified by the software itself as a quality user. And so yeah, that's something you can do. I know other areas, for example, Coursera, I do believe offers a free course on bookkeeping, and bookkeeping is something that everybody should know how to do once you're going in any form of work or anything at all. It's always good to have, because people are always looking for, once there's a business, there's a bookkeeper. Once there's a business, there's an accountant. It just is, right? And so again, this is a bookkeeper position. There was no mention of salary here as well, and the company name is Persona. Also at Persona, and this is an entry-level position. I do believe the bookkeeper position was mid-level, and the virtual assistant is entry-level. Same company, Persona. They are no virtual assistant. Basically, you're doing calendar management, you're taking phone calls, you're setting appointments, stuff like that. So it's basically like a secretary would do in the face-to-face environment, but you're doing it virtual. So you sit at your computer, you're dealing with your customer who's in another country, but you're doing all the same things: managing their calendar, setting their appointments, sending out emails, taking calls, stuff like that, managing their day, their diary, whatever. The things to note for this one: you need to be skilled in the use of apps and technology, and I think most, if not all of us, are skilled in the use of some apps and technology. Most of them are pretty easy to use. There is no work experience required, which is good, and it is a full-time role. So there isn't any work experience required, and they're saying, hey, if you've never worked with a US company before, we can help you get set up, because they are looking for remote workers outside of the US. This also does not give you what the remuneration package or the compensation package is going to be looking like, but you can always go ahead and try. Next one is the executive assistant, same company, and the name again is Persona. But for this one, you need to have at least 2 years experience, and you need to have an expertise in Microsoft packages, and of course you need to have a device that has 8 gigabytes of RAM or more and is using probably like a Ryzen processor. And when you're thinking about remote jobs overall, 8 gigabytes and up is usually the best way to go, because most jobs require a RAM that has 8 gigs, 16 gigs. Most of them will take 8. It can go up, so the bigger the better. And if you're looking into devices, you can always get a refurbished device. I know a lot of people might be skeptical about it. I bought a refurbished device on Amazon and it's working just fine. So yes, and the difference between the executive and, as I said, the executive assistant position is mid-level, is that you would be paired with an executive. You are his main contact. They want to get to the person, they come to you first. So you have to be on the game, and you need to be familiar with Microsoft packages. So that is Word, PowerPoint, Excel, whatever. You need to be versed in those, and most of us use those at one point or another, and it's always good to have. Again, you can always find free courses that will teach you the information that you need, and if you've had any experience outside in the physical face-to-face world, you can always tweak it to match working online. The next one that we have is a customer success associate. I don't remember the name of this company. I will put it down below though. Things to note for this one, and this is basically customer service, right? So the customer success associate is usually a fancy name for a customer service rep. So you're the one that when we call, we talk to you. We have any issues, we talk to you. You're the one that's going to sort everything out. Usually there's a ticketing system. Again, you would have to use a CRM. Things to note for this one, they did put the salary, and it is $1,200 US per month, and that's good living as far as I'm concerned. Like, most jobs in Jamaica are not paying that right now, unless you're at a certain level. And so $1,200 US. The work hours to note are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and that's Central Time, so that's Jamaican time. You would need, they said 0 to 2 years experience, so they're looking for somebody within that bracket. So you can have no experience on the lower end and 2 years of experience on the higher end. That may or may not affect the compensation package. I think it might, even though it wasn't stated, but the fact that the way they worded this, I'm thinking that they would also like you to have 1+ year customer success associate or account management experience. Now, I've worked as an account manager just the other day. I had that stint for a very short time, but nevertheless, it's not a difficult role, but it's a time-consuming role. It's a role that you have to be organized, you have to be on top of your game, and you have to know what it is that you're doing. You'd be dealing with customers on a one-on-one basis, and they would be, whenever they have an issue, again, they're coming directly to you, and you have to figure out how to get that solved. So you at least need to have great customer service skills. Cool. Now, these are the jobs that I found. As I said, I'll be linking all of them down in the description, so you can go ahead, you can click. Some of them will take you directly to the application form. Some of them will take you to LinkedIn, so you can read it for yourself. And I encourage everybody, go read it for yourself, see if there's anything, because I basically quickly ran through. So see if there's anything that you think you would need to know, read it through. Is this a good fit for you? And then you can go ahead and apply. And I do wish you guys all the best. Again, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get one. When you're doing remote job, LinkedIn is one of the best places for you to find remote work. That's where I found my first remote job. When I decided to step out of working in the Jamaican sector, I found my first job on LinkedIn. If you don't know how that went, there's a video on it. But nevertheless, yes guys, I do hope that you find something here and you can start your successful journey on becoming an online or remote worker. So all the best, everybody. If you do apply to any of these jobs, you can comment down below, let me know how it goes, what the process is like, just to help other people out and to help me out what I'm doing. If there's anything you would like me to include that I didn't, you can also let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure whenever I decide to do another video like this to include it. So once again, thank you guys for watching. This is Life with Mr. Anai. Please remember to hit the notification bell if you are subscribed, so you'll know whenever I post a new video. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and get subscribed. What are you waiting for? Give this video a thumbs up if you found quality information, if you liked it, and also go ahead and share it with somebody who you think it could be beneficial to. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.